you doing, guys? Good. Yeah, I'm the comedian. It's what's supposed to be happening. I know some of you are confused, thinking, oh, why is the security talking? No, that's the most common question here in Edinburgh. People ask me, like, do you work at this venue? No, I don't. My name is Oleg. I am from Russia, and I don't work at this venue, or at any other venue, or anywhere else in this country, as far as the Home Office is concerned. But there is a reason I look like this. I don't normally look like this. You know, the reason I look like this is in Moscow, during the World Cup, in Moscow, where I live, I got a high-paid, government-funded job as a friendly, English-speaking skinhead. Just for your benefit, don't judge, everybody needs a bit of cash. People love the World Cup, great, yeah. So, as I said, my name is Oleg, I'm from Russia, and I live there in Russia, the place. I'm not one of those Russians who came here and settled at some point, you know, the ones expats, well, immigrants. Some call them expats, some call them immigrants. So I'll just avoid those politically loaded terms and call those Russians by their neutral technical name, deserters. Any Russians in, by the way? No, that's fair enough, okay. Yeah, I can still assume there are some Russians, you know, because they're just being silent. Because in Russia, we have a saying that silence means yes. That's why we have such a well-developed democracy. You know, so, yeah, as I said, I never lived here, I never studied here in Britain. Up until 2017, I'd never actually been to Britain at all, you know, nor had I been to Australia, Canada, or any of Britain's other franchises, right? You know, I'm a comedian. I know mostly what happens at comedies. I'm very confused by many things happening here, because you have very confusing humor, sense of humor here. You would do jokes that, you know, about things that we don't really have back in Russia, you know, like Marmite elections or middle class. Or something weird for me. But I'm interested in this, because I'm a sort of a resident political comedian of Moscow. I do jokes about Vladimir Putin. So as you can probably guess from that information, I'm on TV all the time. Fucking never. But, you know, it's very hard joking about and making fun of specific things in Russia. Like, you all know about Pussy Riot, of course, right? Pussy Riot, 4 girls in colorful balaclavas that did an anti-Putin sing and dance inside the main cathedral of Moscow. Went to prison for 2 years, got out, became celebs, got on stage with Madonna. As if the prison wasn't punishment enough. Not the weirdest story though. Genuinely, last year in Russia we had a guy who was arrested and criminally prosecuted for catching Pokemons in a church. Although in this case I must admit there's some logic behind the prosecution. Because of all places, a church is obviously not an appropriate place to search for some entity that doesn't really exist, is it?